Hi guys, welcome back to the channel again. If this is your first time on this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. In today's channel, I'm going to be showing you how to go about this asymmetric hemline top with a slit in front. It's a splash and spread actually. So if this is what you're interested in, you would like to watch this video to the end. For this top, I'm going to be making use of this crepe. It's a pink crepe and I am making use of 2 yards. So if this is what you're interested in, you would like to watch this to the end. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into the video. So for this tutorial, we're going to be making use of pattern paper first, and I have my back and front pattern paper being drafted out already. This is our basic body, our normal basic body. So I'm just going to explain. Make sure your paper is on fold for the front. For the back, you can decide to leave it like that, but the front must be on fold because of the asymmetric hemline on the top. So I'm just going to explain. For the neck width for the front is 3, neck depth 3. For the back, neck width 3, neck depth 1.5. That is it. The length of this top is 26 and the length of the back is also 26, but in front I added extra 10 inches after the full length, as you can see. So just after taking the length of your top, you add extra 10 inches to yours, and that is it. So what I'm going to do now is to set aside the back, open up the front, and I am going to extend those lines to the other side. That is what I'm going to do. So I'll be extending the waistline, the bust point, and the full length. That is what I'm going to be extending. Please, you would have to pay close attention to this video because the splash and spread can be a little bit technical. So for this, so what I did is just to extend that line, that line down to the extra 10 inches I brought out on my pattern paper. So this is it. I have my chest line, my bust point, my waistline, and my full length. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to come up by 2 inches and I'm going to slant it straight into the other end of the paper. Just one side like that. You can decide to extend your darts on the other side. You can decide to leave it like that. It's really not necessary. So I'll be cutting off the parts I am cancelling. I'll be cutting it out. I won't be making use of it. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to trace from the bust point. I'm going to trace it just the way you see me doing into the dart leg like this. Just like this, into the dart leg. Just trace it and give it a curve, a slanted curve, just this way. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut out that part, one side of our top. I'm just going to cut it out and I'm probably going to extend it to this other side. I'm just going to cut that side out because this is an asymmetric hemline. So I hope you understand. So I'm going to slant this into, cut it in. This is going to be for our slit. So this solely depends on you, on how long you want your sleeve to be or what length you want your sleeve to stop. So after which I'm going to go ahead to cut by the side of that, the place that there is gathered. You're going to see that it's been added. So I'm just going to cut that one side out and also cut this other side out. So this is going to serve as our darts and is also going to serve as the slash and spread area. Hope you guys understand. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to work on our slanted V-neck area. So I'm going to come down by 6. You can decide to come down by 7, 8, depend on how wide you want your neckline to be. You can extend it down, then you slant it straight into the other neckline area. You just slant it straight. You can decide to curve yours in. Whatever you want to do, just do that with your neckline area. So whatever you want to do, just feel free to do with your neckline. Just play around with your neckline. That is totally fine. You can decide to extend yours more down for it to be more deep. But I think I'm actually fine like this way. You can decide to even cut out the shoulder parts more inside, like to make it more inside. Therefore, your neckline is going to spread more wide. But I like mine just the way it is. So I'm just going to extend. I'm not going to leave my neckline like that because on the neckline you're going to see it was attached. So I'm going to make a slant straight line and cut that out. So this is going to serve as our yoke. Yeah, because on the neckline area it's like a yoke there. So I'm just going to label that our yoke. This is going to serve as our yoke for our neckline area. Then this is the other side of it. So I am done with the front the pattern paper. I'm done with drafting of the pattern paper. So when you see, when I bring the back and join it together, you're going to see it's the same length with the front, just that the only difference is that 10-inch I added in the front, it's not there. So that is what you're going to do. Do not add your 10 inches at the back, just at the front after getting your exact full length. Hope you understand. So the next thing we're going to do now is to achieve our slash and spread. So I'm going to be slashing this paper from the part where our slit is going to be. Yes, that's from our left hand side. Please note, when I was cutting the v-neck, I did not say this. If you want your v-neck depends on where you want it to be, either left or right, please. So the slash and spread is going to be coming from the part where we're going to be having the slit, and the number of slash and spread you want is going to depend on you. So for me, I have mine to be 7 because the pleated area on this top on our thumbnail is not that much. So I think I'm okay with this number of marks I made. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place it on my actual fabric now. So this is where I'm going to make the spreads on. As you can see, it is coming from that part where I removed the other side of our pattern paper. So note that it is coming from the other side and is going in on the other side where I removed the yoke. Please, you're not going to cut everything out. You're just going to stop by just the way you see me cutting mine. You're not going to cut out everything out. So this is it. I have to place this fabric on the floor because my table was not wide enough. So I wanted you guys to see this very well. And when cutting, you're not going to make your fabric on a fold. You're going to spread your fabric just straight like that. You're not folding. So I'm going to open this by 1 inch. You can decide to make yours by I opened this by 2 inch, I think. So you can decide to open yours by 1 inch, by ½ inch, by 3 inch. Just do whatever you want with your spreading. It's totally fine. And the next thing I'm going to do now, after spreading it this way and make sure I have the exact spreads I want, I'm going to get my chalk and trace all this out. And while tracing, I'm going to be adding, so I'll be adding about ½ inch all the way around when tracing out with my chalk. As you can see, that other side where I made a mark with my chalk is going to be where my notch is going to start. So that will indicate where my slit is going to stop. Hope you guys understand. That's where my pleating is going to stop. So when marking yours, make sure you make a notch, make a mark where you're going to notch. So I gave it ½ inch all around, after which I'm going to set aside the paper and trace it out. I'm going to be cutting it out. So for the armhole side, I did not give any allowance, and also the neckline area I did not give any allowance, but every other part of the fabric, that's the body, I give it ½ inch sewing allowance. So do good by doing that. Then what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and trace it out, and that is it for the front. So guys, remember, this is it for the front, and I've gone ahead to notch that area where I marked. So remember, we have other front, that's the bigger part of the front. So I'm going to bring this other side of the front and I'm going to trace it out as well, just the way I did for my bigger part, and I'm going to give it ½ inch all along while cutting, just the way you see me doing. So you might decide to give yours 1 inch, you might decide to give yours 2 inch, depend on how big you are, or it depend on what you want. But mine, I'm going to be giving mine ½ inch all along, and on the edge of it I did not give it any allowance. I just made it same with the pattern paper, but on the sides I gave it ½ inch allowance. So for the yoke, I'm going to be cutting the yoke on a fold, just this way. I'm going to cut the yoke on a fold, and I'm going to trace it out. For the fold, I did not give it much allowance. I just gave it a bit of allowance on it. So that is it for the front. We're going to go ahead and cut our back, and we are done for the cutting of this top. So I'm done cutting the front. So when I bring the other smaller part and put it, you're going to see that's where our pleat is going to be. Hope you guys understand. That's where our pleat is going to be. As you can see, that notch, that will indicate where I want my pleating to stop, or my slit actually, yeah, where I want my slit to start from, or where I want my slit to stop. That is why I made that notch. So the closed edge of this yoke is going to be inside, so I'm going to sew it. But first of all, I'll cut a facing for this and sew it together with the yoke. So I'm going to place this aside, and we're going to cut our back. So for the back, I'm going to have my fabric on a fold like this. So the front, remember the front, you're not cutting on a fold, you're spreading your fabric, but the front you're going to be cutting on a fold. So I left about 1 inch for my zipper, because when I was cutting on the pattern paper, I did not leave any allowance for the zipper side. So but for the zip, this depends on you. My fabric is not stretchy, that is why I decided to add a zipper to mine. So if your fabric is stretchy, do not add any zipper to it. It's totally fine. So that's allowance I left behind is going to serve as the allowance I left by the side, by the other side, is going to serve for my zipper. So I'm just going to make a slant line on the waistline to prevent my zipper from bulging, and I'm going to go ahead to open it up, and that is it for the back. Hope you guys understand for the cutting of the body of this top. If you don't understand, you can rewind, or you can leave a comment down the comment section. It's totally fine. So I'll be cutting my sleeve with these pieces left. My fabric isn't enough, so please, if you are size 18, make use of 2.5. From size 16 down, make use of 2 yards, yes, because this wasn't enough. So what I'm going to do is that pieces, after cutting my sleeve, I'm just going to add it, because the length of this sleeve I'm cutting is 21, but while my length, the length of my sleeve is 28. So after cutting, I'm going to add join it together with that extra pieces left. It's for me, it's not for a client. So after cutting my sleeve, I'm just going to go ahead to notch it. If you don't know about if you don't know how to cut, go about your sleeve, I'm going to drop down the description box so you know how to go about your sleeve. I am done cutting my sleeve, and I am done for every other part of this drafting for this top. So I'm going to show you how to add the body. So first, before joining the bodies, I'm going to go ahead and cut a facing for the front and for the back. You can use a cutting bias for yours, but I feel using a facing is going to make it more neat. You understand? But you can use the turning bias for yours, but for me, I'm going to be using a facing for mine. So I'm going to cut a facing for the front and for the back. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that yoke. I'm going to place that yoke on that exact place I draft out the yoke. I'm going to place it like this, then place my bias on top and sew it. After sewing, I'll turn it in, then iron, give it a proper press. Then I'm going to do same thing for the back. Then for this side, I'm going to go ahead and pleat it, but I'll sew down first, bring it down, then pleat it the way I want. Just pleat the way you want your pleating to be. And that is it. So yeah, I've done pleating the sides. As you can see, the slit is there, and this is my facing. You see how neat is looking. Yeah, so this is the other side of the neck where I joined. That's the yoke. You see how it's looking very fine. So I'm just going to take it to my machine. I'm just going to hem it down, hem the pleated, the slitted area, hem it down, hem the other side down. Then this is my back. I've gone ahead to add my zip. As you can see, I left some design at the back. It totally depends on you. You can make your zip long, but my zip wasn't long, so I decided to just make a design at the back. That's not necessary. Like, it's optional. You can make your zip longer than this. That's to the length of your back. It totally depends on you. You understand? So I'm going to go ahead and shaping the sides, join the shoulder and the other shoulder. Remember I said, when using a stretchy fabric, there is no need of putting a zipper for it, but my fabric is not stretchy. So this is my sleeve. I've gone ahead to join my sleeve. As you can see, that other side I added, it's not even looking bad. It's still looking very fine. So this is the end part of my dress. I've gone ahead to iron it. You see how beautiful it's looking. Can you see how beautiful it's looking? I've gone ahead to join the sides, join the shoulder. So the next thing I'm going to do before adding my sleeve, I'm going to go ahead and trim that shoulder part. That's the shoulder part. I'm going to trim it off and trim the other side off. Please guys, remember I said if you're on the bigger side, please please make, if you're size 18, size 20 up, make use of 2.5 yards, please, 2.5. But if you're from 16 down, 2 yards, it's okay, please. So I'll just take this to my sewing machine and join the sleeve, after which I'm going to show you the end process, that's the end result. So guys, this is the end result. The one on the dummy, I decided to put it on the dummy, but the dummy size is not my size, so I actually made this top in the night, so I decided to just wear it and show you on my face mirror, like my mirror. So this is it, this is how it looks. The neck part, as you can see, is not as deep as the one on the thumbnail, but I'm totally fine. You remember what I said, if you want your neck more deep, then you come down more, then you go in more, you come down more. I'm totally fine with the way my neck area is, because I want to also wear it to church if I want to. So just feel free to do whatever you want with your neck area. So this all the pleated side, you can make yours more, you know, so just do whatever you want with it. I hope this video is educating. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Please, I would like to know what you think about this tutorial down in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, put on your notification bell on so you could get notified whenever we post beautiful tutorials. Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment if necessary, and share this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.